Welcome back to the Beat the Odds Horse Racing Show. On this episode, we have Hall of Fame jockey, Triple Crown winning jockey, Mike Smith. Mike, thank you for joining. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I just finished the run, so I'm pretty sweaty right now, but
Uh-oh,
just
gotta get.
working out, getting ready for Breeders' Cup.
That's right. That's when Big Money Mike comes out. Mike,
That's the game plan anyway. That's the game plan.
yep. Mike, when did you know you wanted to be a jockey? Was it always horse racing? Was it always the plan?
Pretty much, when I was very young, I loved horses. Was raised on a ranch in New Mexico, and both sides of my grandparents owned race horses too at the time. Had a father who rode a little bit, so it was kind of in my blood to start with. I actually wanted to play football, but I just never grew. And so I was always competitive and wanted to compete somehow. And I started riding match races at a very young age and just got hooked. Became knew I wanted to be a jockey by the time I was 11 and really worked at it.
Was there a certain jockey that you looked up to?
Oh, at different times in my life,
Yeah.
a whole lot, yeah, a whole lot of them. I guess my biggest mentor would have been Pat Day. Once I started riding and got to the racetrack, he was someone who I really looked up to and was a great friend on and off the racetrack. And at a very young age, when you're out there on your own, it's good to have a good mentor like that.
Absolutely. And now you're doing that for the younger guys now.
I'm trying to be a good one. Not quite as good as Pat, but I'm trying to be as best as I can.
Well, talk to me about your first win, official win? Do you remember that? What racetrack?
Yeah, I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1982. A horse called Future Man for a man named Wilson Brown. Just a really cool old horse, old claimer that he had that I got to work one morning and really got along with, and then was kind of Wilson was kind enough to put me on him, Mr. Brown, and the rest is history, man. We were able to win it. That was like my third ride I think I'd ever ridden in a pure mutual racetrack. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
my first ride I finished second, just got beat a nose, and then I'd ridden another one that was way off the board, and then I rode Future Man, and he won it for me. So that's what got me started.
And now open the floodgates. That was the first of many.
Yeah, it took me all over the world after that.
Yep. So many people that don't know much about horse racing, they might just think a jockey just like gets on the horse maybe in the morning and then on the race. Talk to me like what is like your routine of being a jockey? As we see now, you're on the workout bike now.
Well, it depends. There's a bit
Yeah.
different stages. In the beginning, man, you get on as many as you can for everyone. You work really hard to get going to establish yourself to build a brand, man, to build your name, and then you have the second part of your career that once you build it, you're just so competitive. You're trying to win every award, trying to break records and trying to do things that people have done before you. Then you have, my side where I'm at right now in my career, and I'm blessed enough to just try and ride quality over quantity. Just looking to ride some, your better races, your stake races, and your young 2-year-olds that are coming up, and that's usually about it. So I don't ride near as many as I used to, but I'm still in really good shape, and I'm still able to compete in the big ones.
That's right. You work out every day to keep in shape. And what is it
Uh,
like a jockey eat?
I work out five days a week. I have personal trainers that I work out with, and I work out 5 days a week. And I do my own cardio, and I do an hour with a personal trainer every day, and I do about an hour and a half of cardio on my own. And as far as what I eat, I usually just eat if it's race day. I usually eat one meal a day, and I eat whatever it is I want to eat. I just don't eat a lot. I'm not a big eater. And on my days off, I'll have lunch and a light lunch and a light dinner, and that's about it. Again, I work out a lot, and I burn
Burn.
calories, so I need to eat a little bit.
That's awesome to hear. I'm overweight and I love to eat, so I wanted to ask what a jockey eats.
It's not about it's about well diet. Listen, eat healthy,
Yeah,
man. Try and eat as
yeah,
healthy as possible, but you got to move, man. You got to get
yeah.
up. You got to move. I don't care if it's a walk or whatever it
Yeah.
is. You got to move. The body's if you let it, if you just sit still with it, man, it'll slow down on you and shut down. So you got to keep moving.
That's right. And like the Breeders' Cup is coming up. How do you like prepare for like a horse, like a big race like that? Maybe is it uh like
Well, for me,
replays?
yeah, I mean, listen, at this stage, we know who they are and what they are and what they've done. We know their past performance. So
Yeah,
so it's as far as strategy wise, we all kind of know that. The handicappers know it. I know
yeah,
it. Just the average gambler knows it. So at this stage, when they're that good, everybody knows who they are. And I've been doing this for 40 something years now, so I've been ready for a long time.
that's right.
Fitness wise, I'm as ready can be. It's just a matter of you really don't start handicapping. At least I don't until the draw is done. I know where everybody's positioned,
Yep,
and then that's when you do your handicapping.
that's right.
You can handicap right now, but what's it going to do? I mean, there might be 3, 4 speed horses in the race, and you're on one of them. Well, if you don't know where they've drawn, I mean, it doesn't do you any good to really handicap right now. So once you realize where everybody's at, and which is about a week out, then you do all your homework, and you do all your strategy wise.
That's what I do for the Kentucky Derby every year. I mean, it can all change.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You got to wait
Yeah,
for the draw. Yeah.
yeah. So, what is the best and worst thing about being a jockey?
Well, the best thing is you get to ride a horse. Listen, that's what we all started,
Yeah.
man, for the love of the horse, man. It's nothing like riding these amazing animals that God created, man. They're just
Hmm.
it's. I mean, I love it more now than I ever have. I just really love getting on a horse, man, especially a really good horse and a nice horse.
Hmm.
And of course, the worst thing I would think in anything in all sports is injury, right? I mean, you just don't want to get injured. With us too, you got to watch your weight a whole lot, so it's not like we can eat all the time. But like everyone else does, 3 meals a day. We don't get 3 meals a day, but listen, we're all pretty small anyway at stature. We all can control our weight pretty well. I would think the worst part would be injury. You just don't want to get hurt, or you don't want to see a horse get hurt. Oh, I lost your voice there. You've lost the. I can't hear you. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. No audio. It's not on my end. I think you might have muted your microphone, maybe, or
Hello.
there. Now I hear you.
All right. All
There
right.
you go.
Yeah. Last week we had Brian Hernandez on, and he was going through that injury right now. So,
Yeah, man. What a. I mean, listen. There's not ever a great time to get hurt,
no.
but man, that's just shitty timing on his part, man. I mean, it
Yeah.
just I hate to see it happen at any time to anybody or any horse. But man, leading into the Breeders' Cup, being mounted like he is, you hate to have to miss out. But listen, there's still time. He might make it. He might make it back. He said.
That's what he said his goal was. And then he went out to the racetrack to watch Torpedo Anna. She didn't run well, but he was out there.
Yeah, she just didn't run her A race at all. I could kind of tell early on that she wasn't going to, just by her body language. She's done that in the past and come back and run really well though. So it's not an end all.
Yeah, that's what Flavian said. At the far turn, she was done.
Yeah, she just. I mean, you could tell she didn't put forth much effort. For whatever reason, I don't know.
So you've ridden all over the world. Won everywhere. What is your favorite racetrack to win at?
Anywhere I finished first. I don't care where it's at, man. When you win, buddy, that's the greatest feeling, the greatest place you ever been, man. It's all about the W, man.
That's right.
It really is. I've been blessed to have ridden at a lot of amazing places, and they're
Hmm.
gorgeous. But I mean, they're apples and oranges, man. They're all so beautiful and
Hmm.
fun. And if you're blessed enough to do well and to win a race wherever that's at, man, it just makes it even that much better.
Now, on the flip side, is there a track that you didn't really care for?
No, not
No.
really, unless I just laid an egg at the place every time I went, then I certainly don't like that. But but like I said, I mean, you get a horse to carry you across the wire first. It's you like wherever you're at. I've been in the middle of winter, in the middle of a snowstorm, man, and win, and that was the greatest place I ever seen, man.
That's
I,
amazing.
I've been in Hawthorne in Chicago in December, buddy. The wind blowing about 50 miles per hour and snow going across the thing, and you finish first. And man, I love Hawthorne in Chicago.
That's amazing to hear. So now I wanted to get into some of the horses and some of the stories about some of the horses you've ridden. And the first horse I really want to talk about is Lur. He was before my time, but he was a brilliant miler. Just talk to me about those Breeders' Cup miles.
Yeah, I mean, he went down as one of the greatest milers, really,
Yep.
of all time. Like back to back with Breeders' Cups.
Yeah.
Probably should have won three. Probably should have won three in a row, but he had a really bad quarter crack going into the very last one. But he could run anywhere from 6 furlongs to a mile and a quarter. To be honest with you, he had a track record of 5.5 furlongs on the dirt as a 2-year-old at Belmont. So it just goes to show you how versatile and how athletic and how great that horse really was. But he'll go down still today as the best grass horse I've ever ridden. Anyway.
There you go. I'll be damned. And then another one before my time was Holy Bull. What was it like being on a champion like him?
He means everything to me. He's the reason I am who I am. To be honest with you, he's a horse that stamped me, who made me not only a top rider, but a top rider not around the country and around the world. That's how good that horse was and how famous he was. He was a beast, man. He was just amazing. And when he would win 9 times out of 10, he would just dominate, man. He would just crush him.
That's what I
He was
saw
that
in
good.
replays.
Yeah, he was something else.
Do you have a win on him that just sticks out that was your favorite?
Probably the Woodward. If you'll go back and look at the Woodward,
Hmm.
he beat the best horses in training as far as the United States goes, and he didn't just beat them, man. He toyed with them, and
Hmm.
he showed that day what a talent he really was. He was every bit of his name. He was holy, and he was a bull, man.
And then now we're getting into the horses of my time and Zenyatta. I mean, she did so much for the game, not only for the connections, but she brought so many new people to horse racing.
Yeah,
When
you're exactly right, man. You said it right there. She was entertainer of the year. She was a musician or an actress. She'd won the Oscar every year. She'd have been entertainer of the year, and she was a singer. You had to see it to understand it. The whole thing was a show from the time she'd walk into the paddock and her antics, the way she danced and just towered over her competition and seemed to try and intimidate them before they even went out on the racetrack. And she did 9 times out of 10. She intimidated most of them. She was just she's 17-2. She just towered over all the other horses. She was humongous and she moved like a deer, man. She was just incredible. I believe in anyway that she'll go down as a top 5 mare of all time. It's probably in the top 3 of all time.
100%, I agree, 100%. Did you know before she started racing that she was going to be special? I mean, not. I don't think anybody knew
Yeah,
they would have win 19 out of 20, but
they knew at a very pretty young. They knew back at the farm when they were galloping the babies together. They'd all kind of just let them open gallop, let them gallop at their own pace. And if they went around there 4 times around a little, training track, which is much smaller than a main track, but if they went around their 4th time, by the 3rd time she was lapping them. They said when they were breaking her back at the farm. That's just the stride that she had and the gait that she had. It was just natural. She just jumped twice as far as everybody else did. It seemed like.
I mean, it looked like it when she was coming down the stretch. I mean,
Yeah.
it
I
was
mean, she
her.
can make up. I mean, she was a horse that I would think, oh my, I've left her way too much to do. And then in 2 jumps, I'd go, oh heck, man, I'm going to hit the front way too soon. She was just that kind of horse. She had that turn of foot was incredible.
That pretty much answers my question. Did you have any like pressure like during the race, like, oh my God, we're way too far back. We gotta go.
Oh, every time. I mean, normally you would with if you that far back on any other horse, you'd always,
Done. Done.
man, what am I doing back here? I mean, all the way up until her last race, and then I knew that we were way too far back that night and just couldn't do much about it. But listen, and I mean, she came within her nose of of even winning that one. So she was just incredible, man. She'll go down as the top three mare of all time.
Yep. And I think, I mean, her best race was maybe the '09 Classic. Tell me about that race.
Well, listen, she was going to run against the boys for the first
Yeah,
time, and she, not only did she beat them, she's still the only mare to have ever
to
done
do
it. Others have tried, and no one's come close. It takes a lot. As a 3-year-old, they can do it because they're all young, but it takes even more for an older mare to beat older horses. Older horses are tough to beat, man.
it.
It's very, Philly done hardly beat them. Very, very, very seldom that they beat them on dirt. You'll
Hmm.
see it more often in Europe on grass, but not on dirt. And for her to do that and to beat the best horses in the world that day was the day the ground shook in California, and it wasn't because there was an earthquake, man. That was just the people cheering for her and going up and down. You could literally feel the ground shake when the race was over. It was that incredible.
And that was the most animated I've ever seen you after a win.
I was just a fan like everyone else. I just happened to be on her back, but
Mhm.
I wasn't doing much, man. That was all her. I just had to make sure and stay out of her way.
It was like that sidestep she got to the outside, and it was over.
That was pretty incredible. I mean, it's hard for a horse to do, period. But then a horse of her size to do that and to keep moving forward like she did was just something else.
Hmm. And then Justify. What was that 111 days about?
Listen, it was short, but it was phenomenal. Uh, he only ran 6 times. He won all six. He won the Triple Crown,
Hmm.
which is the holy grail, man. I mean, that's just something that's hard to even talk about. To be honest with you, I can't. I don't have words in my vocabulary to explain the feeling that you feel when you pull the Triple Crown off, man. I mean, I thought winning the Derby was just awesome, but I didn't think nothing could get better than that. But just magnify it times three because you win all three, right?
Yep.
It's something that this is the most humblest feeling I've ever had to this day, will ever have in my whole life. And the way you'd ever feel that again is to actually win it again, and that's almost impossible. But listen, we never got to see how good he really was either. I'd love to have seen him run as a 4-year-old. He was a monster, man. He was just he towered over the crop that year, and I think he would have the following year as well.
Damn. That was my first Kentucky Derby and my only Kentucky Derby was that one. I was
Yeah.
in.
Well, if I get a chance to ride it again, come back out, man. Maybe it was
All
all
right.
you, man. Help me out.
Well, actually, after the race, you do the trophy, and it takes a while, and everybody left. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to explore Churchill Downs, and I was going down to the paddock, and you were coming back to the jockey's room, and I said, "Congrats, Mike," and you responded. I was like, "Holy moly!" You just
Oh yeah, man. You want to hug everybody after
yeah,
races like that, man.
absolutely.
You just stood still long enough, I probably would have given you a big old hug, man.
Well, actually, we took a picture after in Oak Lawn after the Arkansas Derby with
Oh wow, look at that!
Omaha.
That was Omaha Beach.
Yep,
Yeah, because I
yep,
won the race afterwards with Dallas
yep,
Stewart's horse. That's what that picture is. Yeah,
yeah.
still got a good memory for 59, man. Not bad.
Yeah, oh, that was the two times I've been close to you, and you've been so nice and so great for the horse world, and you're the man.
Listen, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And anytime you need me on your show, buddy, just call, man. I'll be there.
I appreciate it. And our last three questions are like fun ones. What horse that wasn't a superstar that you just loved riding and couldn't wait to ride that horse in a race?
It wasn't the superstar.
Yeah.
Man, there's quite a few of those. I
It's a
listen.
hard.
I love riding all horses, man. Even the ones that don't win. I just love a horse that tries and gives you all he's got.
Mhm.
You'll get one every now and then that they're like people. Not all of them like to work, right? They like to work when they want to, and not when they're supposed to. But when you just get any horse that's willing to give you what they got, regardless if you win or not, you just got to really appreciate it. And it's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's
Some
all
of
you can ask from them. And that's all you can. They can't all be the fastest. All
mm,
you can ask is for them to give you what they got. That's it.
yep. There's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of the man.
Man, yeah, that's a great saying.
Yep. And you said you love sports. If you weren't a jockey, what do you see yourself becoming? Is it something still in the horse
Well,
business?
listen, man, if I was, 6'5", 6'6", 250, man, I'd love to be a linebacker.
Okay.
I love football, man. I'm a big football fan, and linebacker was my favorite position, and it's just too small to ever play it, man. The coach they had to kick me off the team. I made the team in high
Uh-huh.
school, but they let me play one game, and they put me in at free safety. I was way at the back, and the guy come up the middle and broke free for a run, and I hit him about 15 yards outside of the touchdown, outside of the end zone, and next thing I remember, he's celebrating, and I still wrapped around his leg. He ran 15 yards with me on his leg. So that'll never happen. But man, I loved a bit of linebacker.
I would hate to see Mike Smith in the A gap.
Yeah. Trust me, you'd love to see me at my size today, Gap. You'd run right over me.
No. So, and then the last one, you're the winningest jockey in Breeders' Cup history. Give me your top three or top five Breeders' Cup wins that just come to mind.
Well, the first one will be Lure, the horse you talked about. Your
Okay.
first is always will always stay in your mind. Zenyatta beating the boys, of course, is going to be probably be the top one. And another great one was Arrogate when he beat California Chrome. Man,
Hmm.
what a horse that was, man! Still to this day, probably the fastest
Yeah.
mile and a quarter. He had by far the highest number of any horse that I've ever been on. He was just a phenomenal horse, and when he beat California Chrome that day, that was pretty cool.
I mean, that Travers was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, man. He was like,
Hmm.
listen, he did a 5 race run there
Hmm.
that will never be topped again. It was between the Travers, the Breeders' Cup Classic. You had the Pegasus, and then you had the
Hmm.
Dubai World Cup. So four races back to back. The way he ran and the horses he beat is I don't know what happened to him after he came back from Dubai. He just wasn't quite right. We ran him a time or two after that. He just wasn't right. But I think he showed how talented he was too off the racetrack as a sire. He only got 3 years of breeding before he passed. He passed way too young. It was so sad when he passed. But man, look at his babies that he had. Imagine if he was still alive. But
Yep.
he'd be one of the top sires out there.
I remember I was watching the Dubai World Cup with my dad and my grandpa, and they couldn't tell you a horse's name. They just liked to bet on him. And when y'all came out the gate last and then came all the way around to one, my dad was like, they went 17 hours away to run like that and win that race.
Yeah. Listen, the first part of the race, you're like, oh, I can't believe this happened. I got shut off that leaving
Mhm.
the gate so bad. But then after that, I think it made it even more. It showed how great that horse was to beat a horse like Gunrunner like that.
Mhm.
After something like that happened, if he had broken well and laid second or whatever and just went on and win, you wouldn't have thought as much of him. But I think we all think so much more of him because of what happened, and rightly so.
That was unbelievable. Well, Mike, I appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the year. And we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on, man, and God bless, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
You too. Absolutely. We'll have you on again.
All right, thank you, brother. Talk
All
to you
right.
soon.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
All right. Bye.